98% of you are not subscribed. Enter and subscribe because at the amount of 1,000 subscribers, I will post a very special video for you. In the year 2254, humanity had stretched its boundaries far beyond the cradle of Earth, reaching into the distant nooks of the Milky Way. Yet, even in an era of interstellar travel and cosmic settlements, black holes remained the enigmas of the universe, fearful, devouring, and impenetrable. They were the one frontier that until now, no one dared to breach. That was about to change. The Galaxian, a cutting-edge research vessel, was orbiting a safe distance from Vortex 9, a notorious black hole known for its violent past, swallowing entire star systems in its prime. The crew aboard the ship was an eclectic mix of scientists, thrill-seekers, and some of the brightest minds from the United Federation of Planets. Captain Ilara Miles paced the observation deck, her gaze locked on the swirling abyss of Vortex 9. Her reflection in the glass, a woman in her late 30s with a sharp jawline and steely eyes, seemed just as intense as the cosmic phenomenon outside. "Are we really doing this, Ilara?" Dr. Liam Renner, the ship's lead physicist, stood beside her, his voice a mix of excitement and apprehension. He was a middle-aged man, his hair speckled with gray, testament to years spent in labs and lecture halls. Ilara turned to him, her expression unreadable. "We've come this far, haven't we? Humanity has always been about pushing limits. If we back down now, we might as well retreat to Earth and forget everything we've achieved." Liam sighed, adjusting his glasses. "It's not the courage I lack, Ilara. It's just, are we prepared for what we might find? Or worse, what if we find nothing at all?" Ilara smiled, a wry twist of her lips. "Then at least we'll be the first to know." The crew had been briefed, the mission set. Their task was to deploy the Kronos probe, an advanced piece of technology capable of withstanding immense gravitational forces, into Vortex 9. It was designed to collect data and possibly traverse through the event horizon safely, a feat no other had accomplished. As they approached the deployment zone, the entire ship was abuzz with nervous energy. Iona Vex, the pilot, navigated the Galaxian with a deft hand, her dark curls bobbing with every minute adjustment of the thrusters. "We're in position, Captain," Iona announced over the comms. Ilara nodded to her crew, her heart pounding with the gravity of their mission. "Deploy the Kronos probe." With a series of mechanical whirs and hisses, the probe detached from the Galaxian and began its slow, deliberate journey towards the black hole. The crew crowded around various monitors, watching as the probe transmitted its initial readings back to them. The data was mesmerizing. Energy fluctuations, gravitational waves, and matter being stretched into the oblivion of the black hole's heart. It was a symphony of destruction and beauty, orchestrated by the universe itself. Just as the probe was about to cross the event horizon, the unexpected occurred. The monitors flickered, and a surge of static filled the comms. "What's happening?" Ilara demanded, her voice sharp. "We're losing signal," one of the technicians shouted, fingers flying over his console in a futile attempt to regain control. And then, as abruptly as it had vanished, the signal snapped back. But the data on the screen was unlike anything they had seen. The probe, now supposedly on the other side of the event horizon, was transmitting images of a space that defied all known laws of physics. A shimmering void speckled with light, colors no human eye had ever perceived. The crew was silent, each member processing the revelation in their own way. Ilara finally broke the silence. "This is it. We've breached the final frontier." The implications were enormous, not just for the field of science, but for the understanding of their very existence. What lay ahead was unknown, potentially dangerous, and irresistibly tempting. "We need to analyze every bit of this data," Liam said, his earlier doubts forgotten in the wake of discovery. "Who knows what secrets it holds?" As the crew set to work, Ilara looked back at the black hole, a soft smile playing on her lips. Humanity had indeed dared to go where no one else would, even into the maw of a black hole. And now, the universe was opening its secrets to them, one cosmic mystery at a time. The adventure was just beginning. The Kronos probe's transmissions were not just a breakthrough. They were a beacon calling to the depths of human curiosity and daring. The data, filled with bizarre geometric patterns and unprecedented energy signatures, suggested structures and phenomena that defied traditional physics, hinting at the existence of an alternate realm or perhaps a hidden dimension within the black hole itself. On board the Galaxian, the atmosphere was charged with a frenetic energy as specialists in quantum mechanics, astrophysics, and xenobiology collaborated to decode the information streaming in. Dr. Amara Kale, a xenobiologist known for her work on extraterrestrial ecosystems, was particularly intrigued by the apparent biological signatures embedded within the data. "These patterns here," Amara pointed out on the screen, her voice tinged with awe. "They resembled neural networks, but on a cosmic scale. Could it be possible that we're looking at some form of life or consciousness that exists within the black hole?" The idea was radical, but the evidence was compelling. The team worked tirelessly, cross-referencing the probe's findings with all known scientific theories, yet nothing fully explained the phenomena they were observing. Meanwhile, Captain Miles and Dr. Renner discussed the potential risks of sending a manned mission into the black hole to follow the probe. The theoretical models were uncertain, the dangers colossal, yet the lure of the unknown beckoned irresistibly. "We have one shot at making history here, Liam. To not only observe, but to understand, and perhaps to meet what might live on the other side," Ilara argued, her gaze steely and determined. Liam, his mind racing with calculations and consequences, finally nodded. "Let's prepare a team. If we're doing this, we need our best." The selection was meticulous. Besides Ilara and Liam, the team included Amara for her biological insights, and Jackson Hart, an engineer with expertise in environmental survival systems. Together, they would venture into what they had begun to call the beyond. Preparations for the descent were intense. The Galaxian was equipped with enhanced shielding and an upgraded communications array, while the crew underwent rigorous simulations to prepare for every conceivable scenario. Days later, as they approached the event horizon, the reality of their mission settled in with a gravity heavier than the black hole itself. The Galaxian trembled slightly under the cosmic forces at play, a reminder of the power they were flirting with. "Commencing entry in 3, 2, 1. Iona's voice was calm, but her hands were steady as she guided the ship after the path blazed by the Kronos probe. As they crossed the event horizon, a silence fell. The universe outside changed before their eyes. Stars stretched into lines of light, and space itself seemed to warp and twist into impossible shapes. Suddenly, a burst of light enveloped the ship. When it cleared, they found themselves in a vast expanse unlike anything they had imagined. It was a void speckled with vibrant colors and luminous strands that connected what appeared to be floating islands of reality, each with its own distinct environmental and atmospheric conditions. Are we seeing this?" Amara whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. "It's real," Jackson confirmed, checking the readings. "And it's stable. We're in a pocket universe within the black hole." The implications were staggering. They were not just explorers. They were now voyagers in a hidden cosmos, surrounded by phenomena that could rewrite the understanding of existence. Ilara took a deep breath, steadying her resolve. "Let's explore the beyond. For science, for humanity, and for the answers that lie waiting in the dark." As they set out to explore this new universe, each island of reality promised new secrets to unveil and potentially new forms of life to discover. The adventure was not just about survival or discovery now. It was about understanding the fundamental truths of the cosmos and their place within it. The islands, as they had begun to call them, floated in the pocket universe like celestial oases. Each was enveloped in its own shimmering atmosphere, separated by the void yet connected by luminous strands that pulsed with energy. The Galaxian approached the nearest island, a verdant sphere teeming with what looked like flora, but with bioluminescent qualities that painted the landscape in surreal colors. As the ship descended, the team geared up for their first extravehicular exploration. They donned suits designed to adapt to unknown environments, equipped with sensors to monitor and record every detail. "This is unlike any exoplanet we've catalogued," Amara observed, her helmet reflecting the strange new sun. The air was breathable, an unexpected boon, but it carried a faint, sweet scent that hinted at the complexity of this ecosystem. They traversed the landscape, which seemed to be alive, reacting to their presence. The ground beneath their feet was soft and spongy, cushioning their steps. The plants, or what they assumed to be plants, were of various shapes and sizes, some resembling Earth's ferns, others more alien, with spiral fronds that unfurled as they passed. Jackson deployed a series of probes and drones to collect samples and data. The soil composition is unique, rich in elements unknown on Earth. It's as if the island itself is a living organism, possibly a symbiotic entity. The exploration revealed more peculiarities. The water in the streams was clear and had properties that, upon analysis, showed it could rapidly accelerate the healing of biological tissues. This could revolutionize medical science, Amara mused, scooping up a sample. As they moved deeper into the island, they encountered structures that resembled coral but were metallic in nature, forming arches and towers that resonated with the energy strands connecting the islands. Touching one, Elara felt a vibration, a hum of activity that seemed to communicate through patterns of light. It's like a neural network, possibly a form of intelligence, Liam speculated, his voice tinged with wonder. These structures could be akin to nerve cells, part of a larger consciousness that spans the entire island, maybe even the entire universe here. Their journey took them to the edge of the island where the ground tapered off into the void. Here the strands pulsed more intensely, as if drawing energy from the void itself. The team set up instruments to study this phenomenon, hoping to understand how these islands were sustained in the seeming nothingness. Nightfall on the island brought a transformation. The bioluminescence intensified, turning the landscape into a luminous wonderland. The air vibrated with the hum of unseen life, and the ground pulsated underfoot with rhythmic beats that synced with the energy strands. "It's like the island is awake," Jackson whispered, his voice filled with awe. The exploration continued for days, each discovery more baffling than the last. They cataloged hundreds of new species, collected data that would keep scientists busy for decades, and hypothesized about the connections between these islands. Their findings suggested a network of conscious islands, each a node in a larger cosmic web, communicating through vibrations and light. The possibility that they were walking through a sentient universe, a living, breathing cosmos, was both exhilarating and intimidating. As they prepared to return to the Galaxian, their minds were full of questions and theories. But one thing was clear. They were no longer just visitors in this strange realm. They were part of a narrative far greater than themselves, woven into the fabric of a universe where the impossible was simply the unexplored. With new knowledge and samples in hand, they set their sights on the next island, each ready to uncover more secrets of the beyond, where every speck of dust held the potential to change the understanding of life and existence. As the Galaxian set its course towards the next island, a stark contrast to the first, this realm appeared as a desert of silvery sands, under a sky that flickered with endless twilight. The landscape was dominated by towering dunes and deep canyons, with scattered oases of crystalline waters that mirrored the cosmos above them. Here the atmosphere was thinner, carrying a crisp chill that hinted at the absence of the vibrant biota they had encountered previously. Upon disembarking, the team noticed the ground, though seemingly barren, was embedded with crystalline formations that glinted under their lights. Amara knelt, her scanner humming as it interacted with the crystals. "These aren't just geological formations. They're organic, possibly another form of life, living at a pace we can barely perceive." Exploring further, they discovered that the crystals were not randomly placed but formed intricate patterns that spiraled across the landscape, converging at the canyon's edges. "It's a map," Jackson proposed, tracing the lines with his finger on the scanner's display. "Or maybe a message." The canyon itself was a marvel. Its walls shimmered with layers of crystals that cascaded down into the depths, where a faint glow suggested the presence of an energy source. Securing their gear, they rappelled down, the walls around them alive with pulses of light that traveled up and down, reacting to their presence. At the canyon's base, they found the source of the glow, a lake of liquid energy, radiant and stirring softly with a life of its own. Probes sent into the lake returned data that baffled the scientists. This isn't just energy, it's structured. Almost like a primitive form of thought, Liam observed, his voice echoing off the crystal walls. The realization dawned on them that they were potentially interacting with a form of intelligence vastly different from any known biological entity, an intelligence that existed in a state of pure energy, communicating through the crystals. Elara, looking around the glowing expanse, theorized aloud, what if these islands are not just lands but different facets of a single conscious entity? Each island could represent a different thought or aspect of its mind. Motivated by this hypothesis, they set up a temporary research station by the lake, deploying advanced neural interface equipment that Liam had been developing for deep space communication. If these pulses are thoughts, maybe we can listen, or even talk back, he suggested. The first attempts were crude, the equipment translating the energy pulses into disjointed, eerie sounds that filled the canyon. But as the days passed, adjustments made by Jackson allowed them to discern patterns, rhythms and sequences that repeated, altered, and evolved. It's learning from us, and maybe we're learning from it, Amara noted, her eyes bright with the thrill of discovery. One night, as the pulses grew particularly strong, the equipment captured a clear sequence, a repeated set of sounds that they interpreted as greetings. It's sentient, and it's trying to communicate, Elara concluded, a mix of excitement and solemnity in her tone. Overwhelmed by the implications, they spent weeks by the energy lake, documenting every interaction, every pulse. They learned that this entity, this cosmic consciousness, had been observing the universe for eons, its thoughts a record of cosmic history, its wisdom immeasurable. As they prepared to leave the canyon, a new set of pulses emerged, more complex and urgent. The team worked fervently to translate them, revealing a warning, a cosmic event that could threaten the very existence of the islands and their newfound friend. With a new mission, the urgency to understand and perhaps help this cosmic entity became their driving force. The journey back to the Galaxian was quiet, each member of the team lost in thought, pondering their role in this grand cosmic play, where they were no longer mere observers, but participants in a story written in the stars. As the Galaxian ascended from the crystalline canyons, the crew's minds were burdened with the gravity of their new understanding and the impending cosmic threat. The ship sailed through the void, the bioluminescent trails connecting the islands pulsating more urgently, as if reflecting the tension of the unfolding crisis. The next destination was an island unlike any they had seen, an immense floating landmass enveloped in storm clouds that crackled with energy. As they approached, the static discharge was so intense that it interfered with the Galaxian's instruments, necessitating manual navigation through the tempest. This island seems to be the epicenter of the storm, Elara noted, peering through the cockpit's window at the swirling clouds below. Whatever is happening, the answer lies there. The island was a tempestuous ocean, its waves towering and crashing with ferocious energy. Amidst the chaos, they spotted structures resembling massive conductors, channeling the storm's power into the depths below. The team donned suits designed to withstand extreme environmental conditions and disembarked onto a platform that oscillated with the rhythm of the storm. "This isn't just a storm, it's a generator!" Jackson yelled over the roar, examining the conductors. "It's harnessing the storm's energy, but to what end?" The investigation led them to a central conductor, where energy flowed not just up and down, but in a complex network that connected the storm to the other islands. The patterns were similar to neural pathways, suggesting that this storm was not merely meteorological, but a critical part of the entity's cognitive process. Could this storm be a form of defense mechanism? Amara speculated, her voice barely audible against the wind. Maybe it's powering up to deal with the threat we were warned about. Their exploration was cut short as the storm intensified, forcing them to retreat to the Galaxian. Back aboard, they analyzed the data, confirming Amara's theory. The storm was indeed generating energy on a scale that was off the charts, likely preparing for something big. "We need to understand the nature of the threat," Liam said, studying the patterns. "This entity knows what's coming and is gearing up to face it. We have to help." Their next clue came unexpectedly when the ship's sensors detected an anomaly, a distortion moving through the void towards the islands. It was massive, consuming everything in its path. "This must be what the entity is preparing for," Alara concluded, her expression grim. "We need to find out more about this distortion and see if we can help mitigate its impact." The decision was made to approach the anomaly. As they drew closer, the distortion's effects became evident. Space itself seemed to warp and twist around it. The Galaxians shuddered under the strain, but Iona's skilled piloting kept them steady. Inside the distortion, they discovered it was not just a destructive force, but a collapsed pocket universe, its death throes threatening to engulf the islands. "This is beyond any black hole or supernova we know," Liam observed, his tone laced with fear and fascination. "It's a singularity of a collapsed dimension." They theorized that the storm-generated energy could potentially stabilize the singularity, preventing it from expanding. Working with the entity, they redirected the storm's energy, using the conductors as a conduit to feed power into the singularity. The process was perilous, the entire ship vibrating as energy levels soared. But slowly, the distortion began to stabilize, the twisting of space easing into a more regular pattern. As the singularity calmed, the storm above the island subsided, and the entity sent a pulse of profound gratitude across the islands, felt by every crew member. They had not only witnessed, but participated in a cosmic event of unimaginable scale. With the immediate threat averted, the Galaxians set its course back to the first island, their journey coming full circle. But the universe they returned to was not the same, one where humanity had transcended its role as explorers and become guardians of a cosmic consciousness, partners in the dance of the stars. After their monumental success in stabilizing the singularity, the Galaxians' crew, now bonded deeply with the sentient universe, began the voyage back to the inaugural island, where their extraordinary adventure had begun. The journey, however, was no mere retracement of their path. With the newfound relationship between the crew and the cosmic entity, every moment was filled with revelations and mutual learning. As they approached the verdant island, where they first encountered the entity's bioluminescent flora, the landscape appeared transformed. The plants shimmered with an even more vibrant glow, a visual celebration of the islands, and perhaps the entire cosmos's renewed vigor. Alara convened a meeting with her crew in the Galaxians' main conference room, the walls now adorned with holographic images of the islands and the energy networks they had discovered. "We've been given a rare gift," she began, her voice imbued with a mix of awe and resolve. "Our interaction with the entity has not only saved it but also evolved it. It's essential we continue our explorations, but with even greater sensitivity and respect." The crew agreed, unanimously driven by a profound duty to foster and protect the delicate balance they had helped restore. Liam, who had been poring over the data, suggested their next focus. The interactions among the islands might hold keys to understanding not only this entity, but fundamental cosmic processes. We should start by mapping these interactions in greater detail. Thus began their next phase of exploration, marked by meticulous studies and mapping the energetic and biological exchanges among the islands. Each member of the team developed specialized tools and methods for this purpose. Amara designed biosensors that could understand and translate the biochemical languages of the plants and soils. Jackson, on the other hand, enhanced their energy mapping techniques to visualize the flow of energies in more granular detail. During one of their expeditions, as Amara was deploying her biosensors near a cluster of spiral frond plants, she discovered something unprecedented. A new type of plant, subtly different in its DNA, likely a result of the recent cosmic disturbances. "It's as if the entity is adapting, possibly evolving new forms of life in response to the changes," she excitedly reported to the crew. This discovery prompted a broader genetic study across the islands, revealing a rapid evolutionary process spurred by the cosmic entity's network consciousness. The data suggested that the entity was not just reacting to external threats, but actively shaping its ecosystem to be more resilient and interconnected. Meanwhile, Jackson's enhancements allowed them to observe the energy flows in real time, revealing patterns that resembled the neural activity of a developing brain. It's as if we're watching the birth of a consciousness that spans an entire universe, he marveled during his report to the crew. Fascinated by these developments, Liam theorized that their actions might have catalyzed a kind of cosmic adolescence for the entity. We need to consider the ethical implications of our interventions, he cautioned. We're not just observers or even protectors now. We might be catalysts for this entity's growth. This ethical dimension became the centerpiece of their discussions. How could they ensure that their actions were beneficial, not just to the entity, but to the broader cosmos? The entity itself seemed eager to communicate, its signals becoming increasingly sophisticated and responsive to the crew's queries and actions. In a groundbreaking experiment, Alara proposed a symposium of sorts, a structured exchange of knowledge and ideas between the Galaxian's crew and the cosmic entity. Utilizing a combination of Amara's biosensors and Jackson's energy mapping tools, they facilitated a deep and dynamic dialogue. The entity shared its history, a narrative of cosmic eons encoded in energy and light, while the crew offered their understanding of cosmic sciences and human philosophies. This symposium not only deepened their mutual understanding, but also strengthened the bonds between human and cosmic consciousness. As the crew prepared to eventually return to human space, they knew they were leaving behind a legacy of interstellar diplomacy and cosmic stewardship, setting a precedent for future interactions with other sentient forms in the universe. The Galaxian's journey, initially aimed at mere exploration, had transformed into a profound narrative of connection, learning, and ethical exploration, redefining humanity's place in the cosmos, not as conquerors or mere survivors, but as humble participants in the grand, ongoing symphony of the universe. With the symposium marking a new chapter in human-cosmic interaction, the crew of the Galaxian prepared for the next phase of their mission, exploring further reaches of the sentient universe, extending beyond the initial cluster of islands. The entity, now more active and communicative, seemed eager to unveil deeper secrets held within its vast expanse. As the Galaxian drifted towards an unexplored sector, the scenery shifted dramatically. They encountered a realm where the islands were not isolated by voids, but interconnected by massive land bridges composed of the same luminous strands that pulsed with life. This area of the cosmos appeared older, the stars around it denser, each island rich with ancient artifacts that hinted at a long history of cosmic civilization. The architecture here is monumental, Alara noted, leading an away team on the surface of a newly discovered island. The structures were colossal, made of a material that resembled aged bronze but with the strength and properties of a superconductor. Hieroglyph-like symbols adorned every surface, pulsing faintly with the island's life energy. Dr. Renner, alongside a team of xenolinguists and cryptographers, began to decode these glyphs, discovering that they were not just decorative, but served as a form of archival memory storage. These aren't merely writings. They're complex datasets, instructions, and histories, Liam explained, projecting some of the decoded symbols which detailed the entity's interactions with other cosmic phenomena over millennia. Meanwhile, Amara discovered that the flora and fauna on these bridges were drastically different from those on the initial islands. These organisms had adapted to thrive on the energy transmitted through the bridges, evolving unique symbiotic relationships. The biodiversity here is off the charts, and each species plays a role in stabilizing the energy flows, she detailed in her logs, showing how specific plant roots absorbed and redistributed energy, maintaining the bridge's integrity. Jackson, intrigued by the engineering marvel of the bridges, hypothesized that the entire network could be a form of galactic neural network, facilitating not just energy, but vast amounts of information across the cosmos. These bridges are like the cosmic internet, connecting different nodes of consciousness across vast distances, he mused, setting up instruments to measure the informational flow. The discovery of a central hub, where many bridges converged, brought new insights. This hub was a massive island, pulsating with energy so intense it was visible even without instruments. As they approached, the Galaxian systems began to resonate with the energy, syncing automatically with the cosmic frequency. This hub might be the heart, or perhaps the brain, of this sentient universe, Ilara conjectured, leading a team to explore its core. The center housed an enormous crystalline structure that projected streams of light into the sky, where they appeared to communicate with distant stars. Using the enhanced communication equipment developed from earlier expeditions, the team managed to interface directly with the hub. It responded with a flood of information that was relayed through the ship's holographic systems, displaying a live map of the cosmos as seen from the entity's perspective. The entity isn't just living in the universe, it's a part of it, maybe even essential to its operation, Liam concluded, overwhelmed by the scale of integration the entity achieved with the cosmic fabric. The revelations from the hub reshaped their mission priorities. The Galaxian's crew shifted focus from exploration to partnership, working with the entity to understand and perhaps help manage the cosmic processes that were essential to the stability of the galaxy. As they continued their journey, documenting and interacting with different nodes and bridges, they weren't just explorers or scientists anymore. They were cosmic diplomats, establishing a framework for an interspecies alliance that could span galaxies. This partnership culminated in a grand conclave, where representatives from various human colonies and allied alien civilizations were invited to the hub. Together, they witnessed the unveiling of the Universal Threads, a treaty of cooperation and shared guardianship over the sentient universe, pledging to preserve and learn from the cosmic entity that had opened its heart to them. Thus, as the Galaxian charted its course back towards Federation space, its legacy was secured, not just in the annals of exploration, but in the foundational stones of a new cosmic alliance, heralding a future where humanity was truly a part of the infinite cosmic tapestry. As the Galaxian transitioned back towards Federation space, carrying with it the profound responsibilities and alliances forged, the ship itself had become a floating archive of cosmic knowledge and a symbol of interstellar diplomacy. However, before their full return, one final mission awaited, a journey to the Temporal Islands, a newly discovered sector where time behaved unlike anywhere else in the cosmos. These temporal islands, scattered like jewels across a tapestry of shifting time streams, presented an opportunity to understand the universe's temporal dimensions in ways previously unimaginable. Each island was a node in a vast chronological network, displaying different eras of cosmic history simultaneously. "Approaching the first temporal island now," Iona announced, her voice tinged with excitement. As the island came into view, it appeared as a vibrant medieval tapestry, moving and alive, depicting scenes from the entity's early life. The landscape shifted subtly, the visuals morphing to show the evolution of the cosmos from chaos to order. Ilara and her team donned specialized suits designed to interact with the temporal fluxes safely. Stepping onto the island, they found themselves walking through what seemed like a living museum of the universe's past. Flora and fauna from different cosmic epochs coexisted, each phase seamlessly transitioning into the next as they moved deeper into the island. "This is phenomenal," Amara whispered, recording the shifts with her biosensors. "We're seeing a condensed version of evolutionary history right before our eyes." Liam, meanwhile, was fascinated by the temporal mechanics at play. "These islands are like the rings of a tree, each ring representing a different age of the cosmos," he explained, pointing out the layers of time interwoven in the landscape. As they explored further, they stumbled upon artifacts seemingly left behind by the entity or previous visitors, tools that manipulated time, relics that held echoes of long-lost civilizations, and records that detailed ancient cosmic events. Each artifact was carefully collected, promising insights into not only the history but the very fabric of time itself. Jackson, intrigued by the technical aspects, focused on understanding how the temporal energies were harnessed. These tools suggest a technology advanced enough to bend time, perhaps used by the entity to shape its own developmental pathways, he speculated, examining a device that vibrated with temporal energy. The crew's exploration took a dramatic turn when they activated one of the artifacts, unintentionally opening a window into a pivotal event, the birth of the first star within this universe. The spectacle was breathtaking, a dance of matter and energy coalescing to ignite a celestial body. "This is more than history, it's a lesson in cosmic creation," Ilara noted, deeply moved by the experience. With the wealth of data and artifacts collected, the team prepared for the final leg of their mission, visiting an island where future possibilities played out in real time. This island was enigmatic, its landscapes constantly shifting to show potential futures based on different cosmic choices and events. Here they observed versions of galaxies thriving in peace, while others fell into chaos, each scenario influenced by the actions of civilizations within them. "It's a map of potential futures," Liam said, understanding dawning on him. "Our actions have weight, and the futures we're seeing are not set in stone but are warnings and guidance." The implications were profound. The team realized that their new alliance, their decisions and interactions could steer the course of these potential futures towards harmony or disaster. Armed with this knowledge, Ilara convened a council aboard the Galaxian. Representatives from the newly formed Cosmic Alliance discussed the findings, each recognizing the importance of their decisions now more than ever. They agreed to establish a cooperative framework for using the insights gained from the temporal islands to guide their civilizations wisely. As the Galaxian finally set a course for Federation headquarters, the crew looked back at the cosmic expanse behind them, not just as explorers or scientists, but as custodians of time and architects of a hopeful future. Their return marked the end of an epic journey, but also the beginning of a new era in cosmic and temporal stewardship, a legacy of their courage, curiosity, and newfound wisdom. With the foundations of cosmic and temporal stewardship laid, the Galaxian returned to Federation space, laden with a treasure trove of knowledge and artifacts. Yet the narrative of their journey was far from complete. As they integrated back into the socio-political fabric of the human territories, a new challenge emerged, disseminating and safeguarding the profound discoveries they had brought back from the sentient universe. Upon arrival, the crew was greeted with both awe and skepticism by the Federation Council, a governing body wary of the implications such transformative knowledge could have on the established order. Captain Ilara Miles, standing before the council in the Grand Auditorium, presented their findings, emphasizing the importance of ethical stewardship and cooperative exploration. "We've not only discovered new realms, but have been part of a cosmic dialogue that stretches across time and space," Ilara explained, the holographic images behind her flickering with scenes from the temporal islands. "What we do with this knowledge will define the future of not just humanity, but potentially all sentient life in the cosmos." Dr. Liam Renner expanded on the scientific implications, detailing the mechanisms of the temporal artifacts and the insights gained from the entity's living archive. "These are not mere tools, but keys to understanding and influencing the fundamental dynamics of the universe," he stated, passing around an artifact that resonated with a soft, temporal glow. However, the council was divided. Some members feared the power such knowledge could bestow, concerned about its potential misuse. Others argued for aggressive exploration and exploitation of the cosmic network, envisioning a future where humanity could dominate not just galaxies, but time itself. As debates raged, Amara Kale and Jackson Hart organized exhibitions and educational symposiums for the public and academic communities, spreading awareness and fostering understanding of the entity's ecosystem and the ethical frameworks proposed by the crew. They showed how the symbiotic relationships on the islands mirrored the cooperative approach needed among the Federation's diverse populations. "The principles we've learned from the entity, interdependence, cooperation, and stewardship, are applicable here in our own communities," Amara conveyed during a particularly well-attended lecture, the audience captivated by footage of the vibrant bioluminescent flora and the crystal conductors. Meanwhile, Jackson worked with engineers and scientists, developing new technologies inspired by the cosmic constructions they had encountered. These projects, while groundbreaking, were conducted openly, ensuring transparency and fostering a culture of responsible innovation. As public opinion shifted towards support of the Galaxian crew's ideals, the Council began to draft the Cosmic Accord, a set of laws and guidelines for interstellar and temporal exploration and interaction. Ilara and her team were central to these discussions, advocating for policies that prioritized conservation and diplomacy over exploitation and conflict. The Accord became a testament to their journey, a document enshrining humanity's commitment to being wise stewards of the cosmos. It outlined protocols for contact with sentient cosmic entities, guidelines for the use of temporal technologies, and established a new interstellar body to oversee these domains, ensuring that the lessons learned from the Galaxian's mission would shape future explorations. The signing of the Cosmic Accord was a historic event, broadcasted across all human territories. It marked the dawn of a new era where humanity recognized its place not as rulers of the universe, but as part of a larger cosmic community, entrusted with the care of the timeless wonders they had been privileged to encounter. As the crew watched the signatures being etched onto the Accord, they felt a profound sense of accomplishment and responsibility. They had returned as harbingers of a new age, weaving humanity's thread into the vast, intricate loom of destiny that stretched across the known universe and beyond. As the principles of the Cosmic Accord and the Viridian Declaration took root across the galaxy, the crew of the Galaxian, now esteemed ambassadors of cosmic diplomacy, embarked on the most ambitious aspect of their mission yet, the creation of the Starlight Symphony, a project aimed at fostering deeper cosmic harmony through shared cultural and scientific endeavors. The idea for the Starlight Symphony stemmed from an intriguing phenomenon observed during their voyages, the way in which different islands within the sentient universe appeared to resonate harmoniously with each other, creating a literal symphony of light and energy. Inspired by this natural concert, Captain Alara Miles envisioned a series of interstellar events that would combine art, science, and technology to mirror the cosmic unity they had witnessed. The inaugural event of the Starlight Symphony was set on the newly terraformed planet Nova Terra, chosen for its breathtaking landscapes and its position at the crossroads of several major interstellar trade routes. The event featured performances by artists from various races, each incorporating elements of their traditional music with instruments designed based on the technologies and materials discovered during the Galaxian's mission. Dr. Liam Renner curated a concurrent scientific exhibition showcasing the latest advancements in temporal and spatial technologies. Among the highlights were interactive models of the temporal islands, allowing visitors to experience brief, controlled trips through simulated past and future scenarios, designed to foster a deeper understanding of the continuum of time and the impact of various cultural and environmental interventions. Amara Kale organized a biological garden, displaying the interconnected ecosystems of the sentient universe alongside native specimens from participating worlds. This living exhibit emphasized the symbiotic relationships that had been crucial to their ecological restoration efforts, providing a tangible demonstration of interdependence and mutual benefit. Jackson Hart, meanwhile, unveiled the prototype for the Nexus Beacon, a device capable of tapping into the cosmic network to broadcast real-time data and experiences across vast distances, effectively allowing distant worlds to participate in the symphony without leaving their home planets. This technology used principles derived from the cosmic entity's energy conductors, ensuring minimal energy consumption and maximum fidelity. The Starlight Symphony was more than just an event. It was a manifestation of the new interstellar culture of cooperation and shared destiny that the Galaxian crew had fought so hard to foster. Leaders, citizens, and thinkers from across the galaxy gathered, sharing ideas and inspirations, weaving their own threads into the growing tapestry of galactic unity. As night fell on Nova Terra, the symphony culminated in a stunning display of light and sound. The planetary network of Nexus beacons activated, linking the audience across the galaxy. The skies above Nova Terra lit up with colors and patterns generated by the beacons, synchronized with the live performances on the ground. This spectacle, visible from space, was a message of peace and cooperation, a signal of the galaxy's new era sent out to the cosmos. In the aftermath of the Starlight Symphony, the principles of the Cosmic Accord were not just ratified by more civilizations, but were celebrated as the foundation of a new galactic order. The Galaxian crew, once explorers of the unknown, had become the architects of this new order, ensuring that humanity's legacy would be one of harmony and enlightenment, echoing through the universe like the harmonious strains of a symphony written in the starlight. Thus, as the Galaxian set course back to Earth, its mission completed but its journey ongoing. The crew looked to the stars with a sense of fulfillment and anticipation, knowing that their work had sparked a light that would shine across generations, guiding the future of the cosmos towards unity and understanding.